Okay, love, light, and peace. We are live, and I never really remember my angle with this thing. Yeah, I think this one. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so love, light, and peace. I always gotta adjust the camera when I get on because it doesn't show you when you first come on. It's dark. However, nevertheless, I hope you're having a great day. I will. Everything is flowing in the rhythm that magnifies life, right? In any event that it is not, by the time we are completed, it is my will that um, you receive something that allows for the flow to move more freely, right? Um, my thoughts are all over the place right now, so give me a minute to ground myself. Have you drank your water? Are you drinking your water? Make sure you drink water, okay? All right. So with that being shared, I have an announcement. As you can see from the title, today I want to speak about purpose and just the process of discovering our purpose. And this is stemming from my book. I dropped a book yesterday, and I wanted to go into some more details to give people a little bit more insight and intel. And I think I might read a part of the book as well, like a little introduction. So we'll see. Actually, I might start with that. So the book is called Awakening Your Divine Purpose, a spiritual guide to soul and entity alignment. So that's Awakening Your Divine Purpose, a spiritual guide to soul entity alignment. And this book was birthed from my heart and my desire and my will, and ultimately living in my purpose of being able to assist others in navigating the journey here on earth. And I go into quite a bit of detail concerning different tools that I utilize on my journey to discover my divine purpose. And I share it from a context of generality. Like, I don't go into like a lot of specifics about me, although I do touch on some ideas because I wanted the book to be more of a resource that can be utilized, however also feels personable, to where it feels relatable, right? Like it's tangible and it feels relatable. So that's the tone in which I wrote the book. And I will read this part right here. Awakening Your Divine Purpose, a spiritual guide to soul entity alignment, is not just a book. It is an invitation to embark upon a transformative journey. It is a call to remember the truth of who you are beyond the roles and identities the world has shaped for you. In these pages, you will discover the spiritual tools, practices, and insights needed to reconnect with your soul entity's blueprint, uncover your divine mission, and align with the energy of your higher self. This book was born out of my personal spiritual, excuse me. This book was born out of my personal journey of spiritual awakening, self-discovery, and deep connection with the divine. As someone who has walked the path of healing, pain, and renewal, I intimately understand the challenges that arise when navigating life's twists and turns while seeking alignment with your true purpose. My path, filled with blessings and hardships, has led me to tap into ancient wisdom, esoteric teachings, and divine guidance. I am honored to now serve as a vessel for these messages, bringing you the spiritual knowledge that has changed my life and countless others. Throughout this book, we will explore practical techniques such as energy healing, meditation, journaling, and connecting with your higher self and guides. We'll also delve into the sacred wisdom of ancient spiritual traditions, uncovering how they can aid you in shedding limiting beliefs and unhealed wounds that may be holding you back from living in alignment with your soul entity's mission. As you journey through these teachings, you'll be encouraged to look within and do the deep inner work necessary to release the layers of conditioning and trauma that obscure your true essence. You will learn to heal generational wounds, activate your heart chakra, and nurture your divine gifts in a way that allows you to step fully into your power. Whether you're just beginning your spiritual journey or are seeking to deepen your connection to your purpose, this guide is designed to support you through every stage of awakening. I invite you to approach this book with an open heart and mind. You are not here by accident. Your soul and entity guided you to this moment for a reason. The insights and practices shared in this book are meant to help you reclaim your divine sovereignty, ignite your soul entity's purpose, and step into a life of abundance, fulfillment, service, and service to the greater good. So I'm going to end right there. And it is my will to assist and support in any way possible. So I had a thought to come on and speak about the initial experience that one has, right? And it's going to vary for each individual person because we're all walking a unique path. Excuse me. However, there are universal principles that resonate across the board, right? So, as you've seen in the description, I asked, have you ever felt lost or uncertain about your purpose in life, right? And I want to start there because there is an experience that we have. Excuse me. I'm dealing with something with my throat with the change of season. Excuse me. And I have not had my tea yet, so bear with me. Excuse me. I should have made it before I got on. However, I did it. I moved in the spirit. I moved with the energy. However, there's an experience of feeling like you're here to do something. Like, you know that you're here for a purpose. And despite whatever it is that you're doing in your physical world, it feels like you're supposed to be doing something else. You don't always know. Oftentimes you don't know. Oftentimes you don't have very much of a clue. Sometimes you do. However, for the majority of us, we don't really have a clue what it is that we're supposed to be doing. However, there's this feeling that does not go anywhere, that we're supposed to be here for a reason or a purpose outside of or is bigger than whatever it is that we're doing at the time. And as we journey on, we'll get glimpses, right, of what that could possibly be. And one of the greatest indicators that I found is what it is that you naturally do that you may not have to apply a lot of thought, or it could be a gift or a talent that you have that you weren't taught, that is like a big clue, context clue of your purpose being here. And for me, it was the natural ability to heal people. And when I say heal people, I mean, like, yes, if you have a physical condition, I actually do have the ability and the gifts to be able to bring balance to that, which results in it being healed. However, I realized early on that I was able to do something to people energetically and mentally that brought about a healing. And when I was younger, I didn't really understand what was happening. I just knew that people would come to me and they would just like talk to me about any and everything. And at the end of the conversation, they would feel so much better as a result of having spoken with me. And as I continue to evolve and grow throughout my path, I realized that I was offering a sense of clarity, a sense of peace, comfort, compassion, grace, understanding, and love to people, right? And even in me understanding that, I still had a difficulty wrapping my mind around what my gift was, because in this society, everything has to be tangible, right? Like, everything has to be in a physical sense where you can put your hand on it and you can show it to people. However, my gift was not that way. My gift was very intangible. It was very spiritual. It was energetic. And I realized that, and looking back, because hindsight is 2020, and looking back, I realized I've always been an energy sensitive person. I was the person that would be around a group of people, and even though everybody seemed cool, like, I could tell, like, where the energetic breaks were, which in the physical meant like who got beef with who, like who really fronting, who don't really like, this person or that person or me for that matter. I could pick up the energy that certain people were just tolerating other people or they were using other people. And again, early on, I didn't know how to process what I was picking up. However, looking back, I can clearly see now. So I struggled for a while with really understanding how to articulate, how to grab a hold of, how to live in a tangible sense my gifts. And I'm sharing this because I feel like there are others out there that gifts may not be as like blatant in their face. Like you may be trying to figure out like what is your purpose? What is your gift? And it's because it's not so black and white that it is more of a challenging experience for you. So you might be an individual who's like, I don't have any gifts, I don't have any talents. You might consider yourself just a regular person. However, if you were to dig a little deeper, I would ask, you know, what is it that people like call on you for, right? Like if someone was to ask for your assistance or your support, what would they ask of you? Or in general conversation that you have with new people, what's like a reoccurring topic that comes up? Or what ideas like inspire you? What are you passionate about? What is your passion? Have you identified your passion? These type of questions allow for us to go deeper in the layers of discovering our purpose. And one of the things that I want to highlight is that our purpose, our divine purpose, is something that is within us. It's not outside of us. It's not something that we're searching for outside of us. It's within us, and it's like a gift, right? Like it's like I can't think of those. Oh, not that I can't have. I'm unable to pull in right now the name of that. I think it's a German, like the doll, like it's like this wooden doll, and like you take the top off and there's another one in, and you take that one out, put those to the side, you open it up, and you keep doing it until you get to the very little doll inside, right? I feel like that's a great example of what's happening when we start the process of pursuing our purpose, because it's inside of us, right? However, it's like these layers that we have to pull back in order to get to the gooey middle of deliciousness of our purpose. And the more we peel the layers back, obviously, the closer we get. However, in going through the process of peeling the layers back, it can be uncomfortable, right? It can, not that it can be. There's parts of it that it just will. It just will. It's parts that you it's it's unescapable because it's part of the divine process for us to learn the lessons that we were required to learn in this lifetime. So there's going to be uncomfortability. However, through that uncomfortability, we learn so much about ourselves. Excuse me. Through that uncomfortability, we learn so much about ourselves, right? And get myself together. Why y'all ain't tell me my little thing was hanging over there? Okay. Um, don't mind me, y'all. I don't completely lost my thoughts. So it must have been the end of that train of thoughts, that channeling. So yeah, so we're in the process. We are peeling back layers. Tangibly, that looks like going within to ask yourself why you do the things you do, right? Why you respond the way you do. Why do you shut down the way you do? Why do you get, upset or angry or frustrated the way you do? And you'll start to find that there are underlying issues that require your attention from ideas that you experience most times in childhood and oftentimes in early adulthood, depending on your age. However, a lot of this stems from childhood. A lot of this is childhood trauma and the defense mechanisms that we created for ourselves as a form of protecting ourselves because of the things that were being experienced that were outside of our control, because we were in the care of our parents, right? And we may find that there are abandonment issues. There are self, what's the word? My mind just went blank. I'm not sure what's going on today. I'm not sure what's going on. I haven't given me grace. I appreciate you as I go with the flow of the energy. So there are abandonment. I guess I'm supposed to expound on abandonment, right? So for myself, I found that because I lost my parents early on in life, um, I had a developed a defense mechanism of, people aren't permanent. And as a result of people not being permanent, people will come and go. Nobody is actually going to be locked in to stay forever or for the long haul. And I didn't realize that that was a thought process that I had. And then growing up and having the experiences of people that I held dear, leave, marriages that ended in divorce, that there were vows that was taken, that it was going to be forever, till death do us part. And there has been no death and we're apart. My mind had quite a bit of experience in having to process that. So these are more layers that were placed upon, the losing my parents at an early age. And then I'm sure there was things that took place before that, but that was like my central point where I was able to clearly identify where the abandonment came from. And then even, so my father passed when I was 14. When I was 16. And I didn't meet him until I was 12. So I went 12 years without knowing him, got to meet him for 4, and then he passed away. So that in and of itself, was quite a bit of the meat on the bone of the abandonment wound that I discovered, right? So the way that I'm walking you through my own personal experience is the principle that we go through in the pursuit of finding our purpose, because we have to remove the goo. We have to remove the things that no longer serve us. Now, at one point, the not being attached to people was serving me, right? It served me well to get me to this point. However, where I'm going moving forward with my purpose and calling in my soul tribe and my divine counterpart, it would be disadvantageous for me to still continue on with the thought pattern of abandonment, because I'll never fully give of myself to the situation, because in my subconscious mind, I've already accepted that it's only a matter of time before it ends. So there's a defensive mechanism that's been put in place to protect myself from the hurt that comes from people leaving or relationships ending or things not prospering in the manner of which you had envisioned it to be. So willfully, that makes sense to you, right? That's an example of, peeling the layers back, and how many of us may identify with the abandonment wound, whether it be from our parents, our grandparents, our best friend. Maybe we moved around a lot, so we weren't able to really lock into meaningful friendships. And when we found somebody, it didn't last long because of the moving around. There's so many different aspects that this could play out in. However, that's one of the examples, right? So the importance of peeling the layers back. It is a valuable asset to be able to peel the layers back. And in my book, I have a whole chapter clear to dedicated to clearing blocks, where I speak about more in depth about how blocks show up in your life, and what that looks like, and practical exercises on how to remove the blocks. and different esoteric tools and ancient, knowledge that we've been given to be able to identify why it's there, where it came from, and how to remove it, so that we have power in the situation. So that's one aspect. I'm going to look at my notes because I feel like that rhythm of thought is complete. Okay. So yeah, so with that, that aspect of, you know, not knowing what your purpose is. However, having a will, a desire, and a drive to find your purpose, it's like this nudging feeling that you're supposed to do something, you need to do something, and there's a feeling of like time running out. It's like it seems like the more calendar years that goes by, it feels like you're running out of time. However, in actuality, that is the 3D influence, that is looking to cause you to feel like you're not in time and you're not where you're supposed to be. One of the tools that I found, I'll say insights to have that causes this journey to be more palatable, is understanding that we're always where we're supposed to be when we're there, right? Like wherever you are in your journey, that's where you're supposed to be. The key is finding out why you're supposed to be there. Like, what are you supposed to be learning, gaining, doing, achieving, releasing, understanding, seeing, growing through, growing from, standing on, gaining strength in? It's always something in each situation, even the most unpleasant, distasteful, disrespectful situations. There is something to be gained and there's something to be lived. And I'm very grateful to the Most High, because this is like the perspective of optimism, right? And I remember growing up, and even in my early adult years, mainly it was in my early to mid adult years, where, you know, people would say that I was too optimistic, right? And I needed to get balance with my optimism. And from their perspective, I could understand like why they would say what they were saying. However, the reality is that my optimism is one of my greatest assets, right? And it's funny because at one point in my journey, I used to get on my own nerves with my optimism. I used to get on my own nerves, always finding that silver lining in something, because it was like once I found it, I felt like I was no longer justified in being able to vent or, wallow a little bit in my feelings about whatever was taking place. So I would get on my own nerves. I would get on my own nerves. However, with growth comes maturity, and with maturity comes wisdom. And I understand now that it truly is one of my greatest assets, because in me being optimistic, I'm always able to see the Most High in everything. And I'm not sure in what religious text it was written. However, the idea is we are supposed to see the Most High in everything. And I know in part of the spiritual university that I attended while being here on earth, I learned the value in that. When you can see the positive in something that doesn't feel so positive, you gain power and you have a sense of strength and control in the situation, even when it feels like the situation is outside of your control, because you get to determine how you view what it is that's happening, which ultimately means you get to control how you respond to what is happening, right? So that gives you the power. It gives you the power to be able to navigate this path in a way where you're able to maintain or establish a sense of peace, and you know peace is one of the greatest treasures that man looks for. So that's man and woman, right? That humans are in search of is peace of mind, peace in their heart, peace in their soul, peace in their home, peace in their relationships, it's peace. Ultimately is what people want. And some people feel like money will get them peace. Some people feel like a relationship will get them peace. Some people feel like having children will get them peace. Some people feel like having, a great career causes them to be able to experience peace. And I feel like all of that is the steps that we take to get to the point of knowing us and what really resonates with us as peace, and what environment promotes and magnifies the peace that we will to experience. I don't think it's anything, abnormal with wanting to have and experience the finer things in life. I think some of us, it is our birthright to experience the finer things in life. However, I think it is vitally important that before we achieve those finer things in life, receive or experience those finer things in life, we learn how to appreciate the small things in life. And again, this is all part of the journey, right? And it's going to resonate with everybody differently because we're all different expressions. So, maybe you're not the person that's going to resonate, being in nature, maybe you're the person that's going to resonate going to the museum, or biking, or boxing, or I don't know, everybody is different. I can go down the whole list. I don't want to do that though. However, yeah, so finding what brings us peace and constantly pursuing being in a state of peace, right? This allows for the process of the moving the layers to take place in a protected environment, because it's challenging to be pulling back your layers while being around people who are knee deep in shit that's complete opposite peace. You know what I'm saying? Like it's challenging. So, you hear some people who are in pursuit of their purpose, their divine purpose, that say that there's a period of where they feel alone, like they can't talk to anybody because nobody understands. And I offer the perspective that that is a necessary component in pursuing your purpose, your divine purpose of why you are here as an entity or soul that is outside of this 3D reality, right? It is a necessary component to go into a hibernation or separation phase on this journey. And if you really about that life, it's going to happen multiple times throughout your journey. It's not going to be a one hit wonder where you go into hibernation one time and that's it. Some people do it and that's enough for them where they're looking to go or where it's destined for them to be on their journey. However, for some of us, it is a process that's required over and over and over again. And it is a vitally important process because it is in this hibernation that you really get to become familiar with the you that you have become being here, right? You get to see yourself as an observer in the behaviors, the conduct, the responses, the way you choose to navigate and move, the decisions you make, the thought process that you have when somebody says or does a certain thing. I remember at a particular point, I had jumped into the dating pool and I would be texting, with men, and their responses would cause me to have an experience, right? Like I would just be having a body experience, a physical experience. And at first it was like, okay, I can't do this because, this is not the kind of experience that I want to have. However, when I decided to question, like, why am I even responding this way to this? Like, I found myself recognizing that the action didn't justify the response, right? Like, and it could be something real small. I'm not talking about, somebody talking greasy or being disrespectful, or being, grown. I mean, in my head, I'm saying grown. I'm so old school. In my head, I was like equating grown with being nasty, being fast, like not like that. It just was just the natural communication. And it may have been an idea to something that I said that caused me to have a feeling. And it was when I decided to explore, why do I feel that way? Like, where is that even coming from? Like, it was me peeling back the layers, right? And even though like I was texting, in this deep dating pool, I still was within my own sphere. Like, I was still in my own bubble. I wasn't hanging out. I wasn't around a lot of people. My phone wasn't ringing off the hook. Now I did have my seasons where that was the case. However, it was just that it was a season. And the majority of the time, matter of fact, the majority of this 6 years has been me being in hibernation, has been in solitude. And I've really been peeling back the layers, getting to know again the me that was developed from the marriages, from the being a mother, from being a part of an organization that I have been in for double-digit years, for being in my head I'm saying widow, but it's not a widow, being an orphan, being an orphan. It was a lot for me to be able to explore. Like, it was a lot to be explored. And during the time of these 6 years, I've been taking the time to explore and be able to really peel back. So if somebody asks me, well, why did you respond that way? Or why did you do that? Or why does your face look like that? Or whatever the case may be, it's not I don't know, because I know me. So even if it was like an instinctual thing, all I need is a moment, right? To process what my thoughts were, what I was feeling, what took place, and connect the dots. And that only came from being in hibernation. Had I not been in a hibernation, it would not have allowed for that to take place in that same manner. So hibernation is extremely important. So if you find yourself in a space where it's like, you can't trust family, your friends, abandoned you, or, they're not really being true friends, and you're in that space where you feel like you're by yourself, I want you to know that you're in a really great place, right? I know it doesn't feel like it. However, you're in a really, really great place, and you can make a lot of progress in your pursuit of finding your purpose in this space because of peeling back the layers, the necessity of peeling back the layers. I've been talking for a little over 30 minutes now, so I think I want to end it here. I think I want to pull one oracle card for you all, though. Hopefully, something has been received of benefit. If you feel moved, check out the book. There's so much that's expressed in the book. Matter of fact, I wanted to read the names of the chapters. So we have a preface and introduction. Chapter 1 is understanding your entity soul's divine purpose. Chapter 2 is living your entity soul's purpose. Chapter 3 is clearing blocks. Chapter 5 is channel writing. Excuse me. I'm all over the place. So chapter 4 is seeking guidance and utilizing esoteric tools. And I'm going to leave it there because those 4 chapters alone, excuse me, I think would be intriguing enough. Understanding your soul, entity soul's divine purpose, living your entity soul's purpose. Excuse me, my throat chakra. I don't know if it's like an attack on my throat chakra not to share myself. And in chapter 3, clearing blocks. Chapter 4, seeking guidance and utilizing esoteric tools. So that's, check out the book. It's on Gumroad. The link will be in the description box. I would love to hear your feedback if you are moved to purchase it and read it. Oh, it does come with 3 bonus videos. So there's an intro video. There is a sound healing video, which is intended to help clear your energy before you lock in and start the journey. As well as a 40-something minute video of me discussing different ideas to make things tangible for you to be able to relate some of the ideas in a practical way and to be able to see in a tangible sense what pursuing your purpose looks like. Okay, so I guess we'll just go with these. Okay, so these two after the shuffle was left on the desk. So I'm gonna read these two for you and then we'll be out of here. Dearest you, since you're on earth, you understand how buildings are built. Yes, a good solid foundation, and yet flexibility too in case of earthquakes. Truth be told, you can't offer something sustainable unless it is built from a solid base, whether it be an idea that takes form one step at a time, or an actual house that needs a sturdy foundation, dug, poured, and built. We want to remind you of this because you might need a little encouragement to see this is true in your life at this time. Celebrate the fact that right now you can repair the cracks in the foundation of your life effortlessly, as well as do a general site check to ensure your hard work is being well supported. Do this and know you are building your life on a perfect and sound foundation that will allow you to welcome the many miracles waiting to come visit. We're so happy for you and so intrigued by what you're building. I think that is beautiful and extremely because we're speaking about pursuing our purpose. So you may be working on something just like I was working on something. I just dropped the book. You're building something in your world and you have the support that what you're building is going to be beautiful. The next and last message is, dear you, check in occasionally with yourself about your motives behind actions you plan on taking, especially when you have an end game in mind. Is the source of your motivation desire or entitlement? Maybe you're drawn to a certain path because you think it will bring you a feeling related to the outcome you seek. Like, do you need a motive? Can you simply be pulled in the direction of your soul calls, direction your soul calls you toward joy, discovery, growth, or adventure? Participating in something compelling and meaningful without trying to define it, that is so key on this journey. If you can step forward, surrendered to whatever spirit has in store for you, you will be amazed at how things turn out. Check your motives, then hand them over to spirit. Everybody here wants the best for you. Life loves you more than you know. Man, both of those messages are so timely and they brought so many more thoughts in my mind. However, I'm gonna leave it here because I know we will conjoin here many more times to go more into detail about this. However, surrendering is very vital, is very important as well. And the allowing, right? The allowing for things that are leaving your life to leave. Allow the things that are coming in to come in. Allow yourself to feel. Allow yourself to cry. Allow yourself to be upset. Allow yourself to love yourself. Allow yourself to be selfish instead of selfless. You know what I mean? Surrender and allow. I'll leave you with those two keys. And my books are officially open as well. I am taking clients. You can also you can inbox me or leave a message about that. The website is under construction. However, the website address is shineyourlight777.life. That's shineyourlight777.life. And there's a landing page and you can put your email address in there. And you can also leave a message below and I'll get back to you. Or you could check out Shine Your Light 777 on IG or TikTok and send me a message there. It is my will that you receive something of benefit today, something that aided you, supported you. I will that you feel seen and loved and you feel like you are on your path, right? And if not, by all means, if you resonate with my energy, I'll be more than willing to help you get there. So tap in, check out the book, tap in if you want to schedule a session, listen to the other videos, see if anything else resonates with you. I do have a video called Passion, Purpose, and Pursuit. I would definitely encourage you to listen to that video as well. And so then, it has been an honor and a pleasure to share space with you today. And I look forward to the next time. Love, light, peace, and abundance.